after leaving the primordial fruit region to evade pursuit by the fully matured golden crow. The 5 of them entered another mountain range. There, Duande's fortune once again manifested to the extreme when he discovered a pool of divine source liquid half a square kai in size. Brilliant divine radiance poured forth, illuminating the surrounding ancient trees until they shone like jade. This amount of divine source liquid was sufficient to seal a cultivator for tens of thousands of years. And if taken outside, could even be exchanged for a king-grade divine weapon. The blind old man immediately urged Duande to locate the burial site of an ancient god. However, even a burial Dao expert like Duande felt a splitting headache. For this minor world resembled a flawless immortal burial ground. Everywhere seemed suitable for burial, making it extraordinarily difficult to determine the true main acupoint. Yi Fan was forced to intervene, activating the source heaven divine arts to observe dragon veins, lock yin and yang, and probe the secrets of heaven. In the distance, he finally discovered a mountain range shaped like a fallen immortal. Its body sprawled between heaven and earth, waterfalls cascading like streams of blood. The sight was exceedingly grotesque, and the more one gazed upon it, the more it matched the signs of an immortal burial. The 5 immediately set out, crossing mountains to reach it. Standing before that mountain range, all of them sensed the circulation of heavenly Dao aura. The moment they approached, faint chanting of ancient scriptures echoed as if descending from the 9 heavens, stirring their hearts and leaving them restless and unsettled. The creature was savagely powerful. Its sharp claws easily shattered Duande's treasures, and even precious artifacts could not withstand a single strike. Dongfang Yi used his golden saintly bones to repel it, causing the demon ape to hesitate and refrain from approaching. But its howl summoned 4 more of its kind, surrounding the group. According to legend, demon apes were corpse transformations of peerless figures from ancient times, fearsome beyond measure. Driven into desperation, Duande was forced to reveal his final trump card, an ancient bronze lamp whose oil was refined from a saint's body and burned eternally. Pure, holy light spread outward, dispelling the darkness and causing the 5 demon apes to tremble in terror, retreating from the depths of their souls, continuing onward. The sound of chains grew ever clearer. Before them lay a pitch-black river, the great Yin true water, so still that merely gazing upon it made one feel their spirit on the verge of collapse. Everyone's divine power was severely suppressed. None could fly. Spanning the river was only a single soul-stabilizing iron chain, yet it was entwined with ancient corpses, each once a peerless expert who had died countless years ago. As the group hesitated, a bone boat assembled from thousands of skulls appeared, clearly a manifestation of divine intent. Relying on the light of the saint's bronze lamp, they risked boarding the vessel to cross the great Yin true water. During the crossing, a blood-colored half-dragon, half-serpent creature emerged beneath the river, proving that the danger here far exceeded imagination. After reaching the far shore, the pressure grew ever more unbearable, pushing their bodies close to collapse. At last, they arrived at the end of the earth veins, where immortal chi surged like mist, giving one the sensation of imminent ascension. Before them lay a vast immortal land, with 10,000 dragons coiling amid boundless light. And at its center stood a 5-colored jade platform soaring 10,000 zhan high, majestic like a stepped pyramid reaching straight to the heavens. Atop the jade platform rested an ancient coffin suppressing eternity, its might making souls tremble. Though nearly all divine power was sealed, Yi Fan and the others could still clearly sense the terrifying pressure emanating from it. Understanding that they had arrived at the true immortal burial site, if they could open that ancient coffin, they would become the first in endless ages to witness a primordial god with their own eyes within the chaotic space. The towering 5-colored jade platform appeared amid flying dragons and dancing phoenixes, immortal chi rolling in waves. Though everyone knew the scene before them was not entirely real, its sacred momentum was enough to inspire dread. Countless true dragons and divine phoenixes formed from immortal chi appeared lifelike, further intensifying the mystery and oppression. At the center of the space ahead, an ancient coffin floated within the chaos, not resting upon the platform but seeming to possess a life of its own. Though not large, it exuded an aura of desolation spanning past, present, and future, making one feel it had existed even before primordial antiquity. The terrifying pressure threatened to make their bodies explode, bones vibrated. Divine power was heavily suppressed, and ancient treasures and weapons were nearly useless. Everyone could not help but wonder whether this was the might of a god's corpse, perhaps even surpassing that of an awakened extreme Dao weapon under such conditions. Yi Fan and Dongfang Yi adapted best. Though their divine power was suppressed, their formidable physiques preserved nearly full combat strength. When everyone was halted at the foot of the platform, unable to advance further, the Xiao family appeared, first Xiaoji, a half-step great power who had repeatedly sought to kill Yi Fan, and then Xiao Yunsheng, a peak great power who appeared youthful yet possessed unfathomable presence. Xiaoji recognized Yi Fan and immediately launched an attack. But under the pressure of the jade platform his divine power failed to circulate smoothly, and his weapon could not unleash its might. In contrast, Yi Fan relied purely on his physical strength, unleashing the mountain-shattering seal to directly shatter Xiaoji's weapon laws, then following up with another strike that crushed both arms of the half-step great power. Shocking everyone present, a cultivator of the dragon transformation realm severely injuring a great power under such conditions was truly heaven-defying. Xiao Yunsheng stepped in to block him. But Yi Fan advanced onto the jade platform step by step, enduring terrifying pressure from above. Upon the platform, he unleashed the human king seal, his aura undergoing a drastic transformation as if a human king had descended into the world, daring to confront a peak great power head-on without falling into disadvantage, even provoking Xiao Yunsheng to ascend the platform for a decisive battle, causing the entire scene to erupt in shock. Xiao Yunsheng deliberately incited the crowd, hinting that the shattered bowl might conceal a sacred relic, instantly turning Yi Fan and his group into targets of covetous gazes. Yi Fan, however, responded with a cold counter-threat. Though his cultivation was low, under these circumstances his words carried immense weight. Enough to make many great powers hesitate. Attention quickly shifted to the ancient coffin suspended in midair, the true objective of everyone present. The coffin was unimaginably ancient, with immortal qi transforming into dragons and phoenixes that coiled around it, making it impossible to open through ordinary means. Suddenly, the ancient coffin erupted with vitality, fresh green shoots sprouted from its lid, stunning everyone present. They immediately realized that the coffin had been carved from an immortal tree, specifically the ancient enlightenment tea tree. Though once used as a coffin, its divine roots had not perished. After endless ages, they had revived, allowing the ancient coffin to retain living vitality. This discovery shook the very foundations of the assembled experts' understanding, seemingly providing evidence for the real existence of immortals and gods before the primordial age. The coffin itself instantly became a supreme treasure, capable of being refined into artifacts and of aiding Dao comprehension. Yet when someone attempted to pull the coffin down, something strange occurred. No catastrophic pressure erupted as expected. This led many to suspect that the terrifying heavenly might did not originate from the coffin at all in the end. A divine monk from Western Desert Buddhism uncovered the truth. Within the mist on the opposite side lay a block of 5-colored divine ice, inside which was sealed a mysterious corpse. This, he declared, was the true source of the overwhelming pressure bearing down upon the jade platform. When the crowd approached, they were struck dumb. It was not a complete corpse, but merely a strip of human skin stained with 5-colored blood, emitting fluctuations comparable to an extreme Dao imperial weapon. Purple hair, lustrous skin, blood of 5 distinct hues unlike that of humankind. The flesh and bones had been removed, leaving only the skin behind. The scene was horrifying beyond words in shock. The crowd speculated that this might be the skin of an ancient immortal or a god from before the primordial age, an object priceless enough to rival an emperor's sacred relic. Though desire burned fiercely, no one dared act rashly. The pressure radiating from that skin alone was enough to crush all living beings amid the tension. They discovered an ancient inscription left at this place, hinting at even deeper secrets of the cultivation world's past. On the slope of the 5-colored ice was carved a line of ancient characters, firm and powerful, as if fused with the Tao of heaven and earth. The inscription recorded that someone had once borrowed the coffin to bury themselves here, committing a grave sin. What shocked them even more was that these were not divine scripts of the primordial age, but ancient human characters, implying that a human powerhouse had once used a godly coffin when attention returned to the ancient coffin. They noticed faint seals upon it, along with a strange tree root that still retained vitality despite having existed for over 1,000,000 years. In particular, A seal depicting a human figure with a dragon's back caused everyone to turn their gaze toward the great Xiao imperial dynasty. At last, the identity was confirmed: Taiwan, founding ancestor of great Xiao. A human great emperor of remote antiquity. The revelation that a great emperor had left his clan and borrowed a godly coffin to be buried here cast an eerie and incomprehensible atmosphere over the scene. The great Xiao emperor admitted that his ancestor had departed alone in the distant past. His fate unknown, and that only now had they learned he rested here. Before everyone lay the remains of a great emperor, peerless immortal material capable of being refined into an extreme Dao imperial weapon. Stirring the hearts of all present, great Xiao requested to retrieve their ancestors' remains, leaving the coffin to the other factions. This proposal instantly pushed the tension to its limit. As sect masters, divine dynasties, demon lords, and warlords were all present, and none was willing to yield. Some used the pretext of admiring the emperor's bearing to demand the coffin be opened, their true aim being to divide the treasures. They also proposed expelling those of low status, including Yi Fan's group. Xiao Yunsheng openly sneered, demanding Yi Fan be driven away and setting his sights on Duanda's shattered bull. Faced with such oppression, Yi Fan took the initiative and struck first, directly attacking a great power despite being only in the dragon transformation realm. With divine power sealed, he relied solely on his unparalleled physique, consecutively unleashing the mountain-shaking seal and the heavenly quartz secret art. Xiao Yunsheng was beaten miserably, arms broken, bones shattered, face twisted, nearly killed on the spot. Shocking the entire assembly, Grand Tutor Xiao intervened to rescue him, while Dongfang Yi charged in and smashed Xiao Yunsheng's legs with his great club. Members of the Yin-Yang sect barely managed to drag him away in time, saving him from death. The Yin-Yang sect's old sect master, Wang Yongzhan, then attempted to seize the shattered bowl and suppress Yi Fan's group to establish his authority. At that moment, the blind old man who had remained silent all along suddenly struck back, revealing terrifying strength on par with Wang's. His identity was revealed as the Old Man of Heavenly Scorpion, the second great powerhouse of the northern region, further complicating the situation after a violent clash. Both sides temporarily separated in a tense standoff. Though rescued, Xiao Yunsheng was grievously injured and harbored deep hatred toward Yi Fan. Seizing the chaos, Yi Fan pinned the blame on the Yin-Yang sect, plunging the scene into further disorder. In the end, the great Xiao emperor forced everyone to open Taiwang's coffin. The ancient coffin was opened amid surging primal chaos. Yet inside it was empty, leaving only a human-shaped Dao imprint of Taiwan engraved at the bottom. The crowd was shaken. This was not the sign of nirvana, but a Dao imprint left behind by a human great emperor, of unparalleled value. Possibly a supreme ancient scripture. Words related to the undying heavenly emperor then appeared on the coffin walls. Igniting murderous intent and fierce contention, Wang Yongzhan led the charge, summoning the Yin-Yang mirror, a damaged yet terrifying saint weapon, forcing everyone back and expelling Yi Fan's group while openly declaring his intent to kill them and seize Duanda's bowl. At this critical moment, Duanda risked everything to activate the secret within the shattered bowl. The lid of the devouring heaven demonic jar emerged, half of an extreme Dao imperial weapon belonging to the ruthless great emperor. Though unable to fully awaken imperial might, its pressure alone crushed the saint weapon, causing universal terror and retreat. Relying on this half-imperial weapon, Duanda brazenly threatened the Yin-Yang sect with bizarre grave-robbing rhetoric. The devouring heaven demonic jar hovered in the sky, pouring down dark radiance like an inverted scythe, completely reversing the situation. All experts were forced to retreat soon after. The great factions revealed their inherited saint weapons: the Jiyuhua imperial dynasty's golden divine garment, the southern ridge demon race's sun-moon saint weapon, and western desert Buddhism's seven-tier stone pagoda containing a Sarira relic. Under such overwhelming power, most were forced to withdraw, leaving only the divine dynasties and Duanda's group qualified to approach the ancient coffin. The inscriptions revealed a heaven-shaking secret. The true owner of the coffin was the undying heavenly emperor, a real being who existed before the primordial age, an invincible ancient sovereign later deified. Within the five-colored divine eyes remained only a strip of skin, its aura rivaling an imperial weapon. raising the question of where Taiwang himself had gone after confirming that the undying heavenly emperor was not an immortal but merely an invincible ancient sovereign. The factions immediately fought over the coffin and Taiwang's Dao imprint. Duan swiftly seized the lid of the ancient enlightenment tea tree coffin. The Southern Ridge demon lord obtained 8 stone nails refined by the undying heavenly emperor, and the outer coffin planks fell into the hands of Ji Yuhua and Western Desert as the struggle reached its peak. The Great Xia imperial dynasty directly summoned its intact extreme Dao imperial weapon, the Taiwang sword, suppressing the entire field. Immediately afterward, the Jiuli divine dynasty revealed the Jiuli diagram. 2 complete imperial weapons appeared simultaneously, their might shaking heaven and earth. At the same time, the divine thought, the evil aspect of the undying heavenly emperor, manifested, only to be suppressed by the combined might of the imperial weapons and the devouring heaven demonic jar amid the chaos. Yi Fan remained calm and entered enlightenment, holding a Bodhi seed and chewing an enlightenment tea leaf. He directly comprehended Taiwang's Dao imprint, triggering a terrifying heavenly tribulation. 81 heavenly dragon lightning tribulations descended from the heavens, fearing entanglement. All experts, divine dynasties, and even Duan fled in panic, leaving Yi Fan alone to undergo tribulation upon the jade platform 10,000 zhang high before departing. Duan and Dongfang Yi left behind a small measure of aid. Yi Fan opened a mysterious ancient tome obtained from the 10,000 dragon nest, a treasure that had passed through the hands of the fighting Saint Emperor and the ruthless Great Emperor. Though it displayed no domineering might, it isolated the aura of the undying heavenly emperor, allowing Yi Fan to stand firm amid the heavenly tribulation and the terrifying aftershocks of the ancient coffin.